in today's video, I wanted to talk about Cardi B filing for divorce from Offset, and I wanted to talk about the cautionary tale of dating high value yet low quality men. And this video is by no means bashing Cardi B, as I feel like all of us can learn from her and her mistakes. I have never been married, but my last boyfriend was a high value, low quality man. So I wanted to talk, I wanted to touch on this topic because there are so many information out there on what hypergamy means, and I know people personally in my personal life who are just chasing that bag and they're just chasing that man. I've had people in my personal life who I remember I went on a holiday once with friends and we met this guy. He was a millionaire on his way to becoming a billionaire actually, and this guy was a high value man in a sense where he had the means to protect and provide for his woman. However, he was a low quality man, and I say low quality man because when a guy is interested in me, I like to ask my questions. Okay, I know what is important to me, I know what I value, and I know what I'm seeking for in a relationship. So I asked him questions, and this guy had been previously married, and although there's nothing wrong with that, he had kids. However, he did not have kids that he saw often, and this man, what he started doing once, because before he was a broke dusty and then leveled up once his ex-wife left him because he was a broke dusty, but once this guy leveled up, gained the financial means to actually be able to provide, protect his two little precious beautiful little daughters, this man didn't really care to be there for them. And what he will do is he would make it up by taking them on fancy helicopter rides or fancy holidays and all of this, but he had no relationship with his children. And to me that was it bugged me, because I know that the kind of man I want somebody who's very present and very involved with our child, or our children. However, if you are interested in me and I'm hearing that you are not already involved with the kids that you already do have, why, for me, that's not high quality. It just means that you have the financial means to give me the life that I desire, which I could also get from somebody else. But regarding family life, I'm very family oriented. This man wouldn't provide that. And also, he was okay being a deadbeat dad. However, he was interested in me and also a friend of mine, but she didn't care. She just cared about his money. She didn't care that he was a deadbeat father. She didn't care that he was misogynistic. She did not care about all of that. All she saw was the money, because she was just thinking, well, if I get pregnant, it doesn't work out, I've secured a bag, all of this, I'll get child support. And that's not who I am. So fast forward to a year after that incident, I met my ex-boyfriend, and he was very family oriented. He looked after his kids, but he was low quality in the sense that he had the family thing down, but personal development was not a thing for him. He was very arrogant, he was very cocky, and I laughed because when I first met him, I remember on our first date, he was telling me to kind of stay away from the douchey rich men. And at the end of our relationship, he became the douchey rich man he was trying to get me to stay away from. He was okay being where he was. He was so ignorant about so many things, but his pride and his arrogance would not let him admit it, that he would not let him admit that he did not know anything. Therefore, it became unattractive that this guy thought he knew it all. And I remember once he told me that he's never met anybody smarter than him, and I was like, dude, maybe you are in the wrong rooms because there's conversations that we've had and you've been wrong on so many different levels, but you think you're right. And because there's certain times I was like, I'm not arguing with you, I don't really have time for an argument. but there were just certain things about him. And one thing that annoyed me is, I don't mind for you as a man to be there for your kids, but if you are trying to be in my life, I need you to make time for me. And I remember my breaking point was, I stayed over at his house, and he lived outside of London. He drove me to London, and this man didn't even drop me home. Didn't drop me all the way home. He dropped me halfway because he had to pick up his kids. And to me, I was just thinking, what the hell? And at that point, I was already over it. And I just felt like he just kept giving me reasons not to want to work things out. But for me, I just sat there and I just told myself, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for somebody who does not have the decency to drop me home. Yes, your kids are important, but if you want to be in my life, if you're talking about marriage, if you are talking about kids with me, I need to know that I'm equally important with you. And he just didn't have that. He didn't know how to navigate relationships in a healthy way, and he wasn't healthy. I had found that he had unresolved issues from his divorce that happened 3 years ago that he bottled, and he just wasn't somebody he wanted to deal with his crap, and he just wanted to hide behind this toxic masculinity. And I remember leaving that relationship and just feeling like, wow, wow, I'm thankful that I dodged the bullet. But the downside of that as well was that people were making me feel ashamed for leaving him, because again, he was billionaire. He was a billionaire. I'm going to say we're going to get out of the way. And the reason they were shaming me for leaving is because this man had money. But for me, I have so much integrity to know that I don't want to be with a man with money who is low quality. I want high value, high quality, no ifs, no buts. And this is kind of what I got into Cardi B. So many people idolize marriage, and so many people idolize relationships to the point where they are willing to tolerate any kind of abuse just to say that I'm a married woman, I have a husband, I have this. And honestly, for me, hypergamy is not all about that. Yes, that's one aspect of it, but for me, hypergamy is more so working on yourself. You need to work on your emotional trauma, your codependency, so that you are able to attract high value and high quality men. The mistake that I would say that she made was, one, marrying Offset and having children with him, or a child with him, because had she just dated this man and vetted him and things didn't work out, she would have left with no ties to him, and she would have learned with a lesson learned. And then she will know, okay, I need to upgrade myself because I literally have nothing tying me to this man, nothing holding me back to this man. I have no assets to split with this man. And we also know that she makes more money than him, so that might also be a reason why he cheated, because we all know that men cheat. Men will cheat just to kind of gain that control and that sense of masculinity back into their lives. And men like Offset are trash. They are trash. These are not the high value men you should be seeking out. So ladies, I wanted to use Cardi B as an example to say that not all men with money mean that they are high value, and not all women with money are high value. And you need to learn how to work on your codependency, your childhood trauma, whatever issues, emotional issues that you have that trigger you to make really bad relationship decisions. On your hypergamous journey, on your femininity journey, try to work on that first before you get yourself into a relationship. Because what you will find, and this is me speaking from my experience, although you are doing the physical work of looking pretty, fixing your hair, fixing the outside, because you have not done the emotional work, the only difference now is you'll be attracting dusties with money. What I found in my previous relationship was that because my ex was low quality, I still had to lead in my masculinity, and it became very frustrating, and it was hindering my journey, because yes, he had money, but he had other issues of the broke Tyrones I was dealing with before him. And I was still, although I was working at my femininity journey, although I had made some strides in my femininity journey, I really couldn't fully be myself. I really couldn't fully embark on my womanhood and evolve in my womanhood and enjoy my womanhood, because this man couldn't lead, and that was one of the issues I had. He could not lead, and I just had to operate in my masculinity so much to the point where I was always mentally and physically exhausted when I was with him. And that was also one of the reasons I decided to leave. But once I did leave, I realized how much peace I had. I had so much peace. And the one great thing I did do with that man is I did not marry him. I did not rush to have kids with him. I did not rush to get that ring just to say that, oh, I secured a bag, because I could have secured a bag, but I would have been in a tumultuous relationship, possibly divorced before I knew it, being a single mother, trying to co-parent with somebody who I honestly don't care for, and that would have just been more added stress to my life. So ladies, learn how to vet men properly, and hypergamy is not just about attracting high value, high quality men. It's also about you doing the work within. What will happen when you do the work within yourself? You're going to start picking up toxic behaviors in these men early on in your dating stage, as opposed to later when you have already invested your emotions. And this is crucial, because if you notice toxic behavior and bad behavior early on, you leave early on before you've developed those feelings. So I just wanted to use Cardi B as a topic of discussion, because I believe that we can learn a lot from her mistake. And let's not bash her, ladies. She's still young, she still has time, and she's still very wealthy. And it's how she moves forward from this, because she could do a Sierra on Offset.